Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Another game of a very quick game of interplanetary ice by going on here, back on Mars, back at Gale Crater, on this ridgeline at Sol 1433. Okay, this was taken a while back now, quite a while back, months ago, and the image we're looking at, when you scroll down the page, go straight down, links will be below as usual, of course, is this one. You can see this very large, sort of odd-shaped rock right in the centre of the image. Okay. Let's click on the image, and here we have it. We have this water eroded rock with lots of tiny nodules all over it, okay? And next to it we have this very, very strange looking rock with straight structures to it, okay, along the edge. Now this looks to me like a piece of concrete. It doesn't look like a naturally occurring rock. It may well be, of course, but it doesn't look like it. And there's also one or two other things in this image, okay? And nearby. So without further ado, let's have a very quick look at these before we do anything else. Here's the raw image, as I just showed you. Here is the rock, okay? Very strange indeed. We've got these symmetrical structures down the side of it, okay? Now, this may have just split off of one of these other rocks, but it doesn't look like it has. It looks like a piece of concrete. And a lot of this stuff does look like concrete, okay? So I will show you the enhancement. I will have clips coming up in a minute anyway, so you can look at these for a bit longer. Look at this structure to it, okay? Very odd. And in fact, it kind of looks better if you look at it from further back, like here, okay? You can actually see it slightly clearer. Very strange indeed. Is that some kind of concrete block we're looking at? Water eroded? Could well be. There are buildings in this area. There's also petrified wood. There are also buried statues and all sorts of wreckage all over the place. I'm not saying all these things are necessarily manufactured, but a lot of them look like animal parts. We also have this thing here, which is a very strange looking box type thing here, okay? As the enhancement. This looks symmetrical here. Straight edges with a box-like structure to it. Could it be an upturned box of some sort? Could be. It looks kind of like rock, but a lot of these things look like rock and they're not necessarily rock. And we've also got something very strange here in front of it, like a piece of metal or something. It seems to have a handle to it, like a knife or some kind of implement, okay? Just here. That is very odd. Don't really know what it is. It looks like a chisel or something, or perhaps a knife. Very odd indeed. Okay, and we also have this here, which almost looks like a spine of some kind of dead creature, but it may not be, of course. It may just be a very interesting set of rock structures that have just kind of eroded in that way. We also have in front of it here what looks like a bone, just here. Let me show you the enhancement. There we go. Just here it looks like a bone, okay? And behind it, I don't know if you can make that out, it looks like we have a skull, like some kind of weird animal skull here, just here. The jawbone here, see? Some teeth, eye socket there maybe. Not really sure about that. A lot of these things are broken up and eroded so much that it's very hard to tell what you're looking at. Something weird there just behind it as well. So this structure almost looks like a spine, or perhaps something even mechanical, I don't know. The way it's layered is very complex. It looks like an animal spine, perhaps fossilized. And this looks like a bone. It may not be, of course. It may just be something that's shaped like a bone. But as I've said before, not everything that is shaped like something is necessarily that thing, So you've got to be a bit dispassionate about a lot of these things on Mars, because some things look really like something until you get a close-up of it. And then you find out it's just a rock. But often you find out that it still looks like that thing from a different angle, okay? So these things are not always disproved when you see them in greater detail, as we have seen with things like the giant Sphinx and some of these buildings, and we've seen them from multiple angles. And they still look like buildings, and they still look like sphinxes, and they still look like all manner of things like statues and carved stone blocks, that kind of thing, building blocks, building foundations, buried, half buried in the sand. So there we go. Is this a concrete block? Maybe. Don't see why it shouldn't be. There's also something very strange behind it, just here. Looks like a little carved head of something. Probably not. It's probably just my pareidolia playing up there, but it kind of looks like a nose and a couple of eyes. Who knows? Lots of strange things in this area, and as I've said before, there are lots of buried statues or half-buried statues in this area, and a lot of these mounds are not just mounds, they are actually ruined buildings that are mostly buried and are now heavily eroded and destroyed, and we're merely seeing the very top parts of these structures that are buried under probably 20 or 30 feet of sand, okay? Like a lot of these things in Gale Crater are. Thanks for watching, everybody. Clips coming up now.